Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My beloved brothers and sisters, in the blessed month of Ramadan, one of the things that we are reciting constantly from the Quran more often than ever is Surah Al-Fatihah. A surah which a lot of us don't truly understand some of the most beautiful meanings that are inside of it. And obviously, one of the reasons for that is due to the lack of connection with the Arabic language in order to access that knowledge. And so, in the spirit of this particular surah being recited so much, I wanted to just mention and highlight one particular benefit from one particular verse that will hopefully, inshallah ta'ala, show to us the importance of this surah and perhaps build that sort of, aspiration for us to study the Arabic language so that we can acquire more knowledge of this particular surah and the rest of the Quran altogether. But within this surah, there is one particular ayah which is basically a supplication, a dua that we make, where we basically say Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim, which basically translates to loosely, oh Allah, guide us to the straight path. As-sirat al-mustaqim. Now, I don't want to touch upon too much what as-sirat al-mustaqim means. It just means the straight path. It's one path that leads to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is based upon righteous actions and knowledge. It is a path that when one takes, it will lead you to the reward and the mercy and the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's the path that every single Muslim wants to take. And so we want to take that path and not any other path. And so we ask Allah to guide us at that path so that we can go towards Him and attain His Jannah, His reward eventually. And so the point I want to touch upon is actually the word ihdina. Now the word ihdina basically is made up of two words, the fi'l hada, which means the guide, and then the na here is a dhamir, which is muttasil, a dhamir, a pronoun, which is basically attached to the end of the word, which basically means us, okay, from the word nahnu. And so it means, guide us, O Allah, to this path. But the thing that I find very beautiful about this is that, when we look at the concept of guidance in Al-Islam, Al-Hidayah is really of two types, okay? There's two types of guidances. There's one type of guidance, Al-Hidayah, which is the Hidayah, the guidance that a person receives in order to figure out where is the path. Consider a person that's on a road and they're trying to figure out where to go, and you ask somebody for guidance on which path do I take, where do I go to this location, how do I find this masjid, and the person will say to you, take a left, take a right, and then after the traffic light, there's another left and you see the masjid over there. That's one type of guidance, which is being shown where the path is, okay? And so one type of hidayah is being shown and being told that this is the path to Allah. For example, pray your 5 daily salawat, fast in the month of Ramadan, and give zakat, okay? Do your hajj, shahadatu la ilaha illallah, give the sadaqah, be good to your parents. You're being told, okay, the path that leads to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Stay away from haram, stay away from bid'ah, stay away from kufr and shirk, and do this instead. And so that's one type of guidance, okay? The hidayah which shows to you the path that you need to take. The second type of guidance is the guidance which we refer to as al-hidayah tawfiq, which basically means the guidance, the hidayah, by which a person can stay consistent upon that path. So there's one thing which is being shown where the path is, but the other thing is that when you're on this path, you want to be able to make sure that you're consistent upon it and you don't come off. Okay, and so you kind of have a person that holds you by the hand, that takes you and says, don't worry, I'm going to take you all the way to your destination and guide you throughout the entirety of the journey. And if there's any lefts or rights that you're not supposed to take, I'm going to help you and show to you, don't take this, don't take that, just stay with me, inshallah, and we'll get to the end. That's a hidayah which is a step further, which is a hidayah that a person receives from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is when we're on this path, we want to make sure that we avoid slipping and falling away from this path. And who is the one that's going to protect us and aid us and support us to make sure that we maintain ourselves on this particular path? It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's Allah, the one that's going to give us that tawfiq, the ability in our hearts to not be distracted by our shahawat, by our desires and shubuhat and the doubts, and stay firm upon this deen and continue to the very end until we die upon this earth. And so those are the two types of guidances. The guidance that would show to you where the path is, and the guidance of maintaining and being firm upon that path throughout the entirety of your journey. And so the beautiful thing about the word hada, okay, the word ihdina here, is that it's a word which, a verb which basically, in most cases, you would find that there are certain verbs that are used in the Arabic language that also need to have a particle that comes with it as well. We call that in Arabic a harf. So for example, the word ila or the word fi or the harf ba, all of these extra particles sometimes have to come with the verb as well. And so the word hada is a word which can use the particle ila, it can use the word ila, the harf ila, but it can also not use it and still make sense without the usage of that. Where there are certain verbs that when you use them, the harf, the particle has to be present. And if it's not present, then the meaning is not valid. But with the word hada, it can use this particular harf, which is the word ila, okay? Which basically means towards or to go towards something, right? Or it can also not use it and still make sense as well. But there is a difference in the meaning between the both of them. And let me explain. When you use the word hada, so ihdina, but you also use the harf ila with it as well, which is not what Allah did. So for example, had Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, ihdina ila siratil mustaqim. This has one particular meaning, which means, oh Allah, ihdina, guide us, ila siratil mustaqim, guide us towards the straight path. Now the meaning that would entail is that we're asking Allah and we're making dua to Him to guide us to the path. We want to know where is that path. And remember I said that guidances are of two types. It's the guidance of being shown the path and the guidance of being taken upon that path with firmness and consistency. It's not that one, it's the first one, which is being shown where the path is. That's the meaning that is derived from this verse had there been the word ila, the harf ila been there as well, which is ihdina ila sirat al-mustaqim, which is, oh Allah, guide us towards the path, towards the straight path. And that's not an encompassing meaning. But if you remove the ila, which is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did, Allah didn't use the harf ila in this ayah. All Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said was ihdina sirat al-mustaqim. Then that completely changes the meaning. Because what it does is, not only does it combine, not only does it entail the meaning of, oh Allah, guide us towards where the path is, but it also means, oh Allah, guide us to the path and guide us continuously upon that path as well, which is the second type of guidance, which is the al-hidayah to tawfiq, which is for a person to have the tawfiq and the guidance of being consistent upon that path of righteousness. And so subhanAllah, just with the removal of one harf, one particle, the meaning completely changes. That when we ask Allah and we're begging Him every single day, multiple times a day, Ya Allah, ihdina sirat al-mustaqim. We're not asking Allah to show us the path, but we're asking Him, Ya Allah, show me the path and help me on that path at the very same time. Don't leave me. Give me victory. Give me aid. Give me support. Make me firm. Give me istiqamah as I'm on this journey of being righteous and good and trying to do the things that you want me to do and abstaining from the things that you don't want me to do. And subhanAllah, this is, one of the profound things that a person gets to benefit from a little bit of the Arabic language. And we didn't even talk about what as-sirat means or what al-mustaqim means, but just generally all we spoke about is the usage of the word ihdina and the fact that Allah didn't use the word ila, that it combines between these two types of guidances. My brothers and sisters, the Quran is packed with so much guidance, so much information, so much benefits, but you will never be able to gather that information until you learn the Arabic language. The Arabic language is a stepping stone towards you increasing your connection with the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Translations will never be the thing that does justice for you. You have to know, you wouldn't be able to learn this if you had just read the translation of this, which in most translations would just say, oh Allah, guide us to the straight path. You wouldn't understand this nuance, that rather what Allah is saying in this dua that we're making is, Allah, guide us to the path and keep us firm with guidance upon that path at the very same time. That's a more of a deeper meaning that allows a person to understand, subhanAllah, the, you understand the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You understand, the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how beautiful is the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it like this. So many things that a person gets to benefit. but it requires the Arabic language. And I always love to remind you guys that, it's never too late. We're in the month of Ramadan, it is the month of the Quran. What better time for a person to make the intention and say that I'm going to change this? I'm going to learn the Arabic language so that I can understand the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And remember, it doesn't stop there, but you get to learn the ahadith of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. You get to learn the deen altogether through the axis of the Arabic language. And will you really let another Ramadan come and you don't understand the Quran? Would you really want that to take place? Of course not. So my brothers and sisters, make it a objective of yours that you're going to start learning the Arabic language, and you can actually start today. You can start today, whether it be watching a video on YouTube or going to your local masjid. You can also start with us at the Arabic Code Academy, where we basically teach you the Arabic language from complete zero to a mastery, so that you can understand the Quran and the Sunnah and the Deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala better. You can access so much more if you just know this one thing, which is the Arabic language. And languages are not difficult. People learn languages in just a matter of months. The Arabic language, of course, will require a little bit of more study because of the fact that it's connected to the knowledge of the Quran. So you need knowledge of the Sharia a bit more as well. But it's an easy path. It's not difficult. Don't let people confuse you and make it seem like it's difficult. It is easy, it is simple. You just need to have a curriculum and the right teacher, and by the end of it, the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well, and then the person can achieve that goal. So if you want to study the Arabic language with us, you can click the link in the bio and check out our program, where you will inshallah ta'ala learn and study the Arabic language. May Allah bless each and every single one of you. Barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.